Did you know that over 30% of the buyers in Henderson end up regretting something about their purchase due to simple oversights? Today, I'm going to make sure you are not one of those statistics. I'm going to go over the 6 mistakes to avoid making when purchasing a home in Henderson. Mistake number 1. Not understanding our local market. Our Las Vegas market is like a roller coaster. It feels like it's constantly changing. And if you're not paying attention and aware of recent changes, you might find you're caught off guard. Henderson's a perfect example. It's a booming area, but not all the neighborhoods are similar. You'll find the west part of Henderson has a lot more new development, where some of the east has some new, but also a lot of older homes. Every neighborhood has its own vibes and set of amenities. What's happening in Anthem and Seven Hills may not be similar to what's happening in Lake Las Vegas or Cadence. The perfect example is Lake Las Vegas. When Lake Las Vegas was initially developed, they didn't plan out schools or grocery shopping or areas for families. So I saw a lot of the demand was single couples that were older or retired, even second homes or young families that didn't have kids. Now that Cadence is being developed near Lake Las Vegas, they're bringing in a lot of the schools and shopping. So the buyer demand is changing slightly to include families. Inspirata, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. It initially was all about families. There's tons of parks, you'll find farmer markets, everything really to attract kids. The schools were thought out, so it's a lot of families in that area. Also, our market has been changing month by month on supply and demand. We've been in mostly a seller's market for years. However, that demand has fluctuated between a 3-week supply of inventory to a 6-month supply of inventory. And that can make a big difference on how quickly the homes sell and the days on the market for homes. Of course, the longer the home's been on the market, the more negotiable a seller's likely to be. Don't rush into a decision just because our market's hot. Take the time to really understand what's happening in our market. I have found 1 week we're finding multiple offers, and seriously, 2 weeks later, everything's slowed down and sitting. Look at the overall property trends, values, and neighborhood amenities. It's more than just finding a house. It's about finding the right house, community, neighborhood, and area for you. Mistake number 2. Skipping the mortgage pre-approval. This one's a big deal, and buyers don't always understand why. House hunting's exciting. It's fun to go look at homes, look at models, and buying is very emotional. But imagine finding the perfect home that you fall in love with, only to discover you get outbid by a stronger buyer who's already pre-qualified. Or even worse, imagine finding out that you don't qualify for that price range, or the monthly payment is higher than you wanted to pay. It's really difficult to go look at homes in a higher price range and then reset your budget and have to look at homes now in a lower price range. When I was a newer agent, I remember one client, I had asked him to talk to a lender, and he specifically said, "Leslie, I don't want to put the cart before the horse." Well, getting pre-qualified is exactly that. You must get pre-qualified before you look at homes. It puts you as a stronger buyer in the eyes of a seller, and also makes sure that you're looking at homes that suit your budget and needs. Now let's talk about the difference between being pre-qualified versus being a pre-approved. Pre-qualified is a very casual conversation with the lender. The lender doesn't necessarily verify your income. They might not even pull your credit. It's just taking the information the buyer submitted to the lender and saying, based on the information provided, you pre-qualify for this. Pre-approval is when the lender checks your FICO, checks your credit score, verifies the information you provide to them. It's a much more detailed approval, and then you can actually take that letter, it's valid for 60 to 90 days, and know that you're approved for this amount. That's a much stronger letter to submit to the seller to show you've gone through the process and are ahead of the game once you get an offer accepted. Number 3 is overlooking hidden buying costs. When you're buying a home, there's a few costs that can sneak up on you. Here's a quick rundown. Closing costs should include appraisal, loan fees, escrow fees, home inspection costs, and sometimes with some of the new regulations, possibly commission. Your closing costs should run somewhere between 2% to 6%, but typically closing costs are around 3% of the purchase price. Once you close on the home, don't forget about items like maintenance and improvements. If you're buying a new home, the new home's gonna come with a new AC, new roof, new appliances. That's terrific, but of course you may need to put in rear yard landscaping, blinds, and sometimes appliances if they're not included. If you're buying a resale, the great news is those are included. However, you may need to replace an air conditioning unit or a hot water heater. So the best thing to do is budget for costs that will come up within the first year of ownership. If you're new to my channel, hi there, Leslie Carver here, your expert guide in the world of real estate with a special focus on Henderson. I'm here to offer advice, insights, and updates when it comes to buying or selling real estate in Las Vegas and Henderson. Remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you get notified when a new video is released. Let's keep going. Mistake number 4, foregoing a home inspection. Hey, I understand it's really easy to say, I'm not gonna pay for a home inspection. And a home inspection can cost somewhere between $400 to $1,000. Many times buyers don't want that additional cost, but I promise you it's worth it. Even on a new home, I've seen where new homes, a home inspector went out and found that the builder had not put insulation in the roof. In fact, the builder had not done so on the whole street, and none of the other buyers found out. I recently had on a resale where the home inspector, they use moisture guns, and he found moisture in the ceiling below the master shower. We had the seller open up the ceiling, and sure enough, there was water and even mold. The buyer's daughter had an autoimmune disorder, and that would have been so devastating if they'd moved in and it had caused her problems. Also, a lot of times sellers will negotiate and either handle repairs or at least offer a credit for those repairs. So it's well worth the home inspection cost to make sure your peace of mind and negotiate repairs if needed. Mistake number 5, impulse buying. Again, buying's emotional. It's so easy to walk into a property and say, I love it. And in fact, in real estate, we have a saying, it's called buyers are liars. And there's a reason for that. The reason we say buyers are liars is because a buyer will come to me and say, this is my price range. This is what's important to me. I need 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I need a 3-car garage. And sure enough, they walk into a brand new model home and it's nothing like they said they wanted, and they buy it. Especially with the models, it's really easy to look at how wonderful they look and fall in love with them. When you're emotionally attached to the home, it's really easy to look over things that you thought were important, like overpaying and writing an offer or buying a new home that's more than you wanted to spend, or possibly overlooking things that you thought were important, like square footage and features of the property. You can stay objective by getting pre-approved with the lender, understanding your budget and price range first, and then coming up with a list that really is a deal breaker. These are things that are must-have. These are things that I would like to have. Give on the things that you would like to have that maybe aren't important to you, but understand the must-haves that are a priority so you don't get emotionally caught up on a property. So how do you ensure you're making a rational decision when buying a property? Share in the comments below. Mistake number 6, not using a realtor. As someone who knows Henderson like the back of her hand, I can be a huge asset. I take a lot of listings, so many times I may even have something that's coming on the market that fits your needs. I also know most of the other realtors in town and neighborhoods, so if there's a specific community you're looking for, I can reach out to those agents. There's a lot of information that I have that you might not find online. There's specific communities within Anthem and Henderson that have had construction defects or issues that you want to make sure the seller's disclosing and that those items like defective plumbing have been taken care of. A good realtor will help you avoid common pitfalls. We know if a property is priced fairly and may even be aware of hidden issues that we've seen in that community previously. Plus, we can help you navigate the whole process from writing the offer, negotiating price and terms, having the home inspection, going through escrow, making sure that things happen when they're supposed to, like the appraisal. There's so much to it, specifically in Henderson. The market is unique here and things are constantly changing. Sometimes I'll talk to clients and they'll say, listen, I know the market's really hot and there's a bidding wars. And I'll laugh because I'll think that was literally so last month. Things are changing here and fluctuate week by week. That's something as a realtor who's in the trenches, we understand. And that's the thing, as your realtor, I'm your advocate. I'm here to make sure things go smoothly and that it does make financial sense for how you negotiate the property, especially in a place like Henderson where things are changing quickly. For more videos about real estate in Las Vegas and Henderson, please make sure to check out one of my other videos on your screen. Appreciate you for watching and see you on the next one.